So as we all know, GTA 6 is right around the corner here, and it seems to be the only thing anyone can talk about right now. We can't seem to go a day or two without getting some sort of news or a leak or just even random people talking about how it's going to make a bajillion dollars or whatever. So I figured it was my turn to throw my hat in the ring here and kind of talk about my feelings around GTA 6 and Rockstar right now. Even though there's some stuff surrounding this launch that's definitely kind of souring me on the entire experience. I'm a pretty big GTA fan and a pretty big Rockstar fan, I have to admit. I am personally very excited for GTA 6. As most of us know, GTA 6 is going to be releasing on November 19th of 2026, considering it doesn't get another delay or something like that for the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. And finally, after a very, very long wait since the second trailer released, Rockstar finally posted on Twitter yesterday that they're going to be releasing a premiere on Netflix of all places, taking an extended look at the game. I'll admit I do think it's a little gross that they're partnering with Netflix on this to, like, I don't know, get people to sign up for Netflix subscriptions so that they can watch this trailer a handful of hours early. That being said, I am definitely excited to see what this game actually looks like when you're playing it, considering we haven't seen any of that yet so far. Don't get me wrong, the trailers have been really impressive and I've been pretty excited about it up to this point, but it's way overdue that they show us actual gameplay of this game and what we're going to be doing on a, moment-to-moment basis. They're obviously going to push the game in some cool directions, but for the most part, it's going to be another GTA experience. And if you're into that kind of thing, then you're going to love it. And if you aren't really into that kind of thing, then you're probably just going to either let it pass you by or pick it up in a handful of years when it's $20. That does kind of bring us over into the pre-order side of things, which is also an element of all this that's kind of souring me on it. Once again, I thought it was pretty weird of them to release pre-orders before we've even seen what this game looks like in action, especially at that $80 and $100 price point for the Ultimate Edition. I think that's a pretty hefty price to pay. Honestly, really the only reason to pre-order the game in the first place is either to secure your empty box or to get the preload going, and you definitely don't have to do that right away. I really don't love that the pre-order bonuses lock things like stores behind a paywall too. I think that's pretty lame, to be honest. Obviously, it's only going to be like some select stores or select locations that you maybe can purchase or gangs you can be a part of, something like that, right? And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to end up buying into this at some point, but I think the idea of kind of locking these bigger elements of the game behind a paywall like that is really just pushing people into getting that $100 edition when you don't really have to. Obviously, if anyone is going to get away with these absurd price points and locking people behind these weird paywalls, it's going to be Rockstar Games. And I mean, to a certain extent, I do think they deserve it. I mean, there's going to be a lot of content there, probably 100 plus hours of gameplay to dig into and mess around with, and that doesn't even begin to get into the whole online portion of this. We have to remember too, even at these high price points, you're still not going to be getting a physical copy of the game. Rockstar has already confirmed that when you buy the game physically, it's literally just going to be a box with a code in it. And now with PlayStation cracking down on physical media and deciding to discontinue it in 2027, I think it's pretty far-fetched to think that we're going to get any sort of physical release for this game anytime soon or maybe ever. I do have to admit though, looking through the pre-order bonuses and the trailers again, it's like these shots and these renders that they're putting up on the website look stunning. Once again, it's no knock on their quality at all. I think the bar for quality at Rockstar is well known and deserved at this point. It sort of just feels like they're feeding into this idea that the video game industry needs to become all digital and we need to kind of take the ownership away from the consumers, and I really hate that part of all of this. Once again, if anyone can get away with this, it's Rockstar, but they also have the money to not get away with it and provide these things to people without having to charge you an arm and a leg for it. I mean, if you remember back to GTA 5 or GTA 4 when those released, you actually used to get a physical map and a collector's edition with real physical items. And it's just kind of a shame that the biggest media launch in the entire history of human existence isn't going to be going the lengths to, support the customer in that way. In fact, everybody's favorite Strauss Zelnick over at Take-Two said this just the other day. So that's where the world is going in our opinion, and I think Sony understands that. We certainly understand that. It doesn't mean that we won't have physical editions now and then. I'm sure that we will in the same way that there's still vinyl in the recorded music business. But in other instances, it just won't make sense. I do think that there's two sides to this as well. There's obviously the business side of things that's saying like, hey, Really, not a lot of people are buying physical media. There's no reason for us to put the cost into that if we don't have people showing out for that anyway, right? You might as well save the money, and it's more convenient for your consumer and for you to be able to update the game and for them to download it instantly. But on the other side of things, from a preservation standpoint or even a consumer ownership standpoint, it's like we're really kind of losing out here. Even though this is going to be the biggest media launch in history and it's going to make many billions of dollars, there will come a day when the GTA servers will shut down and you won't be able to purchase that game anymore or play it online anymore, especially when the next one comes out. Just reinforcing this idea that like we need to kind of take away from the consumer so that we can save on our end, but at the same time, we're still laying people off and providing lackluster experiences to our consumers. It just seems in 2026, there's this trend of like taking and taking and taking from the customer when it's just not necessary and we're not really getting anything to benefit us anyway from it. And it just kind of is a bummer that something I'm so excited about has all these kind of nasty elements to it. And that doesn't even begin to get into how Rockstar was doing some union busting a little while ago. Obviously, a lot of this stuff is up in the air at this point, too. Until the premiere comes out and the game finally launches, we really don't know a lot about what's going on with this game and what it's going to look like, how it's going to play, and honestly, what it's going to do for the industry as a whole. And frankly, I think we're going to look back on this in a handful of years and just kind of be reminded about how silly all this discourse and conversation was around this game, because it's inevitably going to launch and people are going to play the game. Anyway, what do you guys think about all this GTA discourse going on? No physical media, weird paywalls, expensive pre-orders. I'd love to know down in the comments below. Have a kick-ass week.